This morning I have the privilege of introducing our guest and friend to you, Marv Knox. Marv, many of you know, served as the editor for the Baptist Standard for many years, but this morning he joins us in a new role, one that he's held for almost a year as the coordinator of Fellowship Southwest, one of our newest partners. And Marv is going to give us some insight and updates and vision into Fellowship Southwest and how they function and work, specifically in some of the most complicated issues of today. So we have been, as a church, very concerned about the separation of children from their parents at the borders over the last few months. And so what we've been trying to do is keep our ear on the ground for ways in which we can engage. And so at the urging of our partners like Fellowship Southwest and the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship, a few weeks ago, we wrote letters to our representatives advocating for the reunification of families. Last week, you'll remember, we packed 500 hygiene kits that I shipped out on Monday to Catholic Charities for those that are leaving detention centers to receive as they go through the Humanitarian Respite Center. And we'll continue to rely on our partners for ways that we could engage meaningfully through both generosity and advocacy. So Marv, we're so thankful that you're here and that you can provide us insight into what you all are doing. So tell us first, let's start here. Many of us are familiar with the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship as they've been a long-standing mission partner of ours. So how does Fellowship Southwest connect to what they're doing, and how do they differentiate themselves?
Sure, thank you. So Fellowship Southwest, on the 1st of August, we'll celebrate our first anniversary. We were created by Cooperative Baptist Fellowship to primarily to expand the ministry, and particularly to broaden the base of our racial, cultural, ecumenical relationships in the Southwest. And so our territory is from the Sabine River to the Pacific Ocean. That's pretty broad. Really broad, but we come alongside existing organizations. So many of you all are familiar with Cooperative Baptist Fellowship, CBF Texas, and so we work with CBF Texas and CBF of Oklahoma, CBF West, particularly in New Mexico, Arizona, and Southern California along the border, and we cooperate with that group to try to build infrastructure, kind of fill in the gaps, and the way we are learning that we are going to be able to implement ministry and activity and advocacy is through faith tables, or maybe a common word for them might be task forces. I think faith table sounds a little more sanctified, but it also is we come around a table, oftentimes literally, to talk about the things, and we invite congregations and individuals and other organizations to focus on particular causes or issues or areas of concern, like immigration or church starting or public education, a range of those sorts of things to work together. And so what we hope to do is to make CBF stronger across the region, but then also invite in our brothers and sisters from like-minded faith groups to participate with us.
Great. So my understanding is these faith tables will be one way in which Fellowship Southwest will convene congregations across ecumenical ties around issues of concern. How else has Fellowship Southwest responded, convened people together, particularly around this border crisis?
Sure. So 4 weeks ago today, Fellowship Southwest sponsored a vigil or a rally in Brownsville to relate to and speak to, give voice to testimony with particular regard to the separated families. And so we convened a group that came together there, and it kind of fit what we're trying to do. We had congregations from across the area that sent representatives and came. We had partners with Baylor School of Social Work, with Buckner, with several others, also congregations in the Valley. But then we also worked with the the Mennonites, the Salvation Army, and some others that joined with us, and we met actually at the big distribution center, or the big center that has been in the news. That's the converted Walmart on the outskirts of Brownsville, and we had a rally and spoke to that issue. We were able to speak to media as well, but also just to give a physical presence of endorsement and support.
So this is I'm throwing a question at you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you most excited about when it comes to Fellowship Southwest?
That's really good, because I'm excited about all of it. I really enjoy. I am so happy to get to be a part of a group of people that are inviting others to minister to those folks that Jesus described as the least of these. Kind of like I've been a part of CBF forever. It's kind of like I was sitting in the back of the van, not watching where we were going and paying attention to all the particular details. But the thing that I've watched and I've seen is how CBF folks are quick, as you all are and have been for generations, to rally around and to get involved in being the gospel, being the presence of Jesus to people who really need it. And we get to give voice to that. And we get to invite Methodists and Presbyterians and the Salvation Army and Mennonites, and we work with Catholics and all kinds of people to do that. And so that's just a lot of fun too.
So if we want to continue to be engaged, particularly I know how challenging it's been to find hands-on ways that we can provide direct service. How do we stay up to date or engaged in this?
Sure, thank you. So the first one is to stay up to date, and that is to just keep apprised. And I know you all do a good job of communicating to your membership, but we are communicating to our constituents directly. So we have a digital email or a newsletter that goes out every week, and everybody can subscribe to it. And probably the easiest way, our email address is sort of like the church's email address, so it's my first initial and my last name, mknox@cbf.net, or they're not here today, but Jay Pritchard, Katie Pritchard help us to do that. And if you see them here sometime, just grab them and give them your email address and they'll put it in. If you give it to me, I'll send it to them anyway. So, but to be educated. The other is to do as you guys have already been doing and continue to do, and that is to speak up and speak out, particularly to policymakers, lawmakers, and others, and let them know of your commitment, your passion, and your engagement. We all have to continue to be generous and to do the things, because it takes money to gather people together. It takes money to do the ministries, and so we come together and we can do a lot more if we all contribute together. And we hope before too long we'll have volunteer opportunities where we will be able to offer mission trips or activities where we can actually tangibly minister people who need it. Particularly, we're talking about the immigration crisis. And then finally is to not grow weary in well-doing. Don't give up. This is a long-term challenge, and it will be with us for a long, long time, and we have to all make a commitment to stick in and do it together.
Well, Marv, we thank you for taking on this new venture in leadership, and we thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much.